The Vanderpump Rules Season 11 Reunion Part 2 just aired, and we need to have an emergency roast and reaction. So grab a beverage. Hopefully, you're wearing something comfy. Smash that like, and let's get started.
If you like what you see, come and get it with me. I know you deserve all you want, 'cause your heart's made of gold. But don't wait till you're old. If you want it, I get you some.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Stand-up comedian and Vanderpump Rules superfan Joleen Lunzer here for another episode of technically No Offense, All Offense, where we talk about our favorite reality shows, pop culture news stories. Today, we're going to be breaking down the Vanderpump Rules, myself and producer Tilly, as long as she stays here. We're going to be breaking down the Vanderpump Rules Season 11 Reunion Part 2. Okay? Un, deux, trois. We are on deux. So part 2, we are going to be breaking down. If this is your first time on my channel, I do comedy and commentary. We take a comedic look, but I'm also very opinionated, as I say. You don't necessarily have to agree with my opinions. You can have your own opinions and share them in our wonderful live chat or comment section. And as long as neither of us are being buttholes and we're being respectful, we can just agree to disagree on this silly TV show.
That's my opinion!
That's my opinion. So hello, everyone. Happy Tuesday night. Happy Vanderpump Rules reunion. Part 2. I have so many notes for us to go over. So many things I want to talk about tonight. Tonight, we're going to have some fun. We're going to have some laughs. We're going to let it out. This is like a therapy session for all of us to just process this crazy, crazy season of Vanderpump Rules. You know the drill. Smash the like, hit the subscribe. We are like 1,400 or something, 15 away from 40,000 subscribers. So thank you so much. If you want to support the channel further than liking or subscribing, you can always send a super chat while we're live. I'll highlight your comment. You can send a super thanks after the video posts. You can join my YouTube membership or my Patreon if you want to, or you can hit me up on the Venmo, PayPal, Cash App. Shout out to Sheila. I just got your very generous Venmo. Thank you so much, Sheila, and the kind words. Oh my gosh. And I will list my payment options on my IG bio. You also gave me some constructive criticism that I like. And so thank you, Sheila. I do have a link tree there, and I should add it to my link tree, but I don't. But you don't have to do any of those things I just mentioned. Just you being here, I appreciate you guys so much. And if you could smash the like, it's just if you want to. Okay. So yes, this is our support group. Hello, Chippy. Hello. Okay, so we're here. We're doing the damn thing. Things are happening. We're in part 2. I took a lot of notes. As I said, I think producer Tilly wants to leave. Tilly, don't you want to stay? She's over it. She's like, listen, this has not really been that fun. So let me just let her out real quick, and then we'll get into some rumors and nastiness for this Vanderpump Rules reunion part 2.
Where's Meredith Marks when I need her?
The rumors, the nastiness, the rumors, the nastiness. You want me to go there with her husband? I can go there. You can leave.
You love that. You can leave, you guys. And but please don't leave. Please don't leave this live. But like Meredith says, you can leave. Okay, as you can see, here are my notes. Sometimes I take them, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I can just focus and remember everything off the top of my head. Sometimes I'm like, I better take some dang notes. But after tonight's roast, I'm going to be back tomorrow with Ryan Bailey. So Ryan Bailey and I will be here tomorrow. We'll get to hear what he has to say. We always like having Ryan Bailey as a guest over here with the Lean team. So I'll make the live for that after this one. And so you guys can get ready. I think we're going live at noon Pacific tomorrow. And Nana's in the chat. Hey, Nana. And thank you, Christina, for the first super chat of the live. Excited for tomorrow with Ryan. Please say Lala and Lala for him. Yes, we'll have so much. I'm sure it'll just be me and Ryan speaking in all the character voices the whole time, because that's truly what we enjoy doing. Okay. So please sound off in the chat. Let me know all your thoughts, hopes, dreams, and opinions when it comes to this second part of the reunion. First impression, I thought it was, maybe once I read my notes, I'll think differently, but I thought it was a little lackluster. It obviously was very frustrating, especially when we were focusing a lot on Sheena and how things affected Sheena. How did Ariana's breakup affect Sheena? How did Ariana being on Dancing with the Stars affect Sheena? How did Ariana, having a partnership with Katie and then Lala having an opinion about it, how did that affect Sheena? I was just like, okay, I'm kind of over this. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. Okay. So let me just share this picture that I saw. And I think Taste of Reality, shout out to Taste of Reality. They shared this today. Sheena shared it on her Instagram. But oops, I was so mad. I was like, get off of here. She shared it on her Instagram. And it just makes me sad because it really is the season we could have had, the season we all wanted, which was the Spice Girls season. Just think of how powerful it would have been going into this season and this reunion with these four as a united front against the gaslighting men and producers and being like, no. Let me say, yeah. Like they could have just, who runs the world, girls. It would have been so amazing. But instead, we're here. But at least we are here with each other. Okay. So Lala and Katie, the conversation continues off of last episode. And it's the, Lauren from Utah is like, Katie was up in my DMs, me and Tupac, because he lives inside me, bitch. Y'all got rabies. Sometimes I get to clapping. And I'm like, okay, Lauren. So Lauren's talking about how Katie was like, not going to tell her true feelings on Ariana because they have a business together and she's put a lot of money into it. And Katie told Lala, you F with my business, I F with your business. Disengage. And then Lala, the queen, now the Bravo queen of rehearsed reads, Lala Kent, Lauren from Utah, the rehearsed reads. Even the Tupac story was something that she said during the season and then brought it onto podcast, and she delivers it the same way, as if she's writing some kind of routine. Okay. The rehearsed reads are, I'm just like, Lala, it's cringe. I like clever off the top, but she like, here's where I'm going to place it. Here's how many times I'm going to say it. The rehearsed reads, truly a player hater, Lala. Okay. So then she says, because something's about her is really nothing about her. And I'm like, I'm sorry, what? Something about her is really nothing about her. Y'all hear me? And I'm like, what? Well, that's not even that. I came up with a better title for my live, something without Lala, in 2 seconds. And she's really leaning into that. Like the after show, the reunion, the podcast. Something about her is really nothings about her. Think about it. I didn't. I'm like, oh, Lala. I'm like embarrassed for you. I'm embarrassed for you, bridesmaid. I am embarrassed for you. How you're going to shit on your friend's business. These are two women coming together to start a restaurant, which is very difficult. And we've only really seen on this show cast members of the penile persuasion start restaurants. And then you're going to shit on someone you say is a good friend and talk about how her business is really nothing. But you have a failed makeup line, a failed sugar daddy business plan. So a failed makeup plan, a failed sugar daddy plan. No offense, all offense, girl, but these are true. And then you did good with the sweatshirts, but you had to base that off of Ariana, one of the ladies in the business that you're hating on. You had to base it off her trauma to make money for a down payment for a house. So nothing you've said on your own, like, give them Lala, ho. No one was like, you know what? I want to wear give them Lala. It had to be something related to Ariana and her situation. And if you really want to go toes, as you say, you want to go toes, Katie and Ariana, I'm pretty sure they made more money with their merch in like a day than you did send it to Daryl. So they could have just kept something about her as a, merch thing because people were buying that shit. And it's just unfortunate. Plus, something about her has now had its soft open, and its grand opening is tomorrow. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess she does have the podcast with her white boy dreads brother. You guys, someone posted this picture in the Reddits, and I was like, is this that guy that told us that he gets tired from us rabies bitches? I know this isn't the man that told us that the rabies bitches referred to people who don't agree with his sister and called us bitches. I know that's not this man.
The finale episode of Vanderpump aired last night. Did anyone watch it? Did they show my purge?
I was unaware. I was supposed to be watching Vanderpump.
Don't worry, I didn't watch either.
Okay, okay. We will be watching though because yes,
that's why I just asked. Do I have to watch this,
No,
or can I just freeball it when we're talking about it?
no, because I'm not going to talk. I'm not addressing any VPR
Beautiful.
news
Don't wanna watch any
until
of- so
third
I can-
part of the reunion, and it's going to be very quick. You guys don't need to weigh in. I don't want questions. I'm going to say my piece. We're going to move on, and I never want to discuss season 11 again. And I hope by that time everyone gets their fucking rabies shots because they're foaming at the mouth. These fucking bitches in these streets on socials. I'm like, yo.
Amen, amen. We got
Make me tired.
what?
I said they make me tired. The rabies bitches.
Okay, so
Just a full appropriation all over this white boy from Utah. Just all the cultural, steal it from them all. You know, he just, okay. In the words of Miss Felicia from Big Brother last season, okay. All right, we're going to take you out. We're going to give you a break, and your name is Easton. It's just, the jokes write themselves, you guys. I mean, it's you. Hi, you're the joke. It's you. NYCMP, thank you so much for the super chat. NYCMP says condensing uninterrupted Peacock version with MTA commute for efficiency. Use of silent frustration and rage. Don't know how y'all did it. Couldn't last 5 minutes before just popping off, as Lala would say. Just popping. Yes. Sinister, thank you so much for the super chat. Sinister Girl says, haven't watched part 2 yet. We'll catch the replay. We appreciate it. We appreciate it. Like, no, Lala, you're foaming. All right. Back to it, because us foaming bitches, we have a lot to say. Like, I didn't buy your sweatshirt per se, but I do know some people that want their money back. So let us know where we can send the complaints, because the rabies bitches, they want their money back. Okay. So, something about her is really nothing about her. And you're like, okay, cool, Laura. And you're really cool. You're really cool. Thank you for that. Thank you. Then Schwartz jumps into this conversation, which so on brand, and trying to mansplain Katie's feelings. Well, maybe Katie, you were frustrated with Ariana and it's like, I'm sorry, sir, we don't need you. We don't need you. The women are talking. Shh. We need to start doing that. We need to make that like a regular thing when men just interject, as sometimes, hashtag not all men, but as problematic men do. Go, shh, sir, the women are speaking. The women are speaking. Shh, 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 shh. Just get up in their face. The women, you should smile because the women are speaking, okay? Shh, you're so much prettier when you're with your mouth closed. You're so much prettier with your mouth closed and your wallet out. You're so much prettier. So he starts mansplaining. I'm like, be quiet. Ariana immediately defends Katie. And she's like, I'm sorry, are we calling Katie fake? Because she's the most authentic person on this show, to the point where she's been hated for seasons for being authentically herself and having opinions and dragging people through the street sometimes. So I don't know what we're doing here. She's 100% authentic for 11 seasons. And Lala's like, psh. Lala got up, and I don't know if she had like a coochie crawl. Something was happening in her spanks, and I doubt Lala has to wear Spanx, but something was creeping up the baby door or the trail, some kind of coochie cutter. Like she got up, and I don't know what happened, but as she was saying this, she had to stand up and adjust her labia or something. I'm not sure. And as she was doing that, she was like, okay, but she hasn't been 100% authentic this season. Not this season. Shots fired. Do you want to get popped? Hello, my brothers. Like, I don't know. You love David's Bridal. Yes, Cassandra. Maybe the David's Bridal. No shade on David's Bridal. I got my $99 wedding dress when I eloped there. Just walked into the Burbank David's Bridal on a Sunday. Had to ring a bell. Grabbed a clearance dress. Walked out. Cried in the car to my husband because they made me ring a bell. And they're supposed to only do that when you have your friends and loved ones around. And it's a long story. But yes, definitely in the David's Bridal. You'll love David's Bridal. Lala was just like, she had to adjust. Like she felt, you could tell her voice was a little shaky too. So I'm like, are we real big and bad? Are we real big and bad? Why don't we just be ourselves instead of being real big and bad? She's like, you won't get popped. You won't get popped in your face, bitch. You don't want none of this. Because me and Katie, we share something that y'all don't know. Okay? We share something. It's that we give facts. Even when they're not facts that are like convenient. It's an inconvenient truth. We tell truth bombs, bitch. All right? And you're like, but do you? Oh, goodness. Lala says, she loves Katie. And I'm like, do you? Because you're definitely not acting like you love Katie. Thank you, Rhonda B, for the super sticker. I appreciate that. You're not acting like you love Katie. It's like you're stabbing her, like, you're popping her. And then you're like, but I love you. And she's bleeding on the ground. But like, why? Why is this the way you show your love? So Lala's like, but I love Katie. And Katie's like, okay, Lala says she loves her, but Katie isn't willing to have the uncomfortable conversations. I'm sorry, Katie went through a divorce on the show while her ex-husband, who said he wanted to be her friend, who gaslit her through their whole marriage, disrespected her, cheated on her, and made her feel like the villain and stuck up for his loser slimeball friend Tom Sandoval over his own wife. Okay, she went through all of that and continued to get disrespected. So I think she has the uncomfortable conversation. She's gotten fights with her friends. She stopped talking to friends. Stassi, Kristen, they've had, she's given us her blood. She's had her mom on there. She had to watch as Tom Sandoval and Rachel Raquel disrespected Terry Maloney. The woman has given. She has giveth. And we have taketh. And we thank you in the name of Katie. Thanks be to you, Terry Maloney. Okay? So I don't know. Lala is she's acting like this is the first season. We've never seen this show before, even though she keeps breaking the fourth wall talking about, how this shit works. But do you, Lala? Do you need a manual? Because I don't think you know how this show works. Katie is like, okay, I'm not going to be painted as a fake or a phony because I don't want to rehash stuff that I was over. I went to you to vent as a friend. You are now using this against me, which I never thought would happen. Ariana and I have spoken about everything. Some things I didn't want to go to her about because I'm just venting. And I'm letting you know about my imposter syndrome and my own insecurities. I thought I could trust you. Now I know I can't. Okay, bitch, I'm a Capricorn. I won't forget this. Andy said, Katie looks pissed. Wouldn't you be? This person next to you just completely is throwing you under the bus because she's terrified she's going to lose her job and not be able to afford her house in Palm Springs and also in Sherman Oaks. So she's scared. She's the breadwinner for the family and she's a mother and no one understands it but her. There have never been mothers on this world before until Lala Kent Lauren from Utah entered the party. None y'all get it. Just Lala. Okay? And so when Andy says Katie looks pissed, Lala says, she said something like, that's standard. That's normal. She just keeps shitting on Katie. And Katie's like, you're gross. Like you could tell that she is just like, not Lauren with another, but I'm a breeder speech. Yeah, she loves to give that speech. Andy then is playing a montage of everyone's kind of cheating past. They talk Sheena and Tom Schwartz's kiss in Las Vegas 69 years ago. And back when Tom Sandoval was still young, relatively, and I couldn't care less. I literally couldn't care less. Even Katie's like, I mean, it's shitty, but it's on brand for what Schwartz does in our relationship. And Sheena's like, I didn't want to tell you because I was a we weren't best friends, and I was a home wrecking hoe, you called me. And it's like, well, I mean, you're not doing the best job to kind of break that title if you're out there kissing Schwartz. But according to Sheena, she didn't kiss back. Okay, she didn't inhale. She didn't kiss back. She pushed him away and she said, "No, you're my friend. You're just my best friend. I don't kiss my best friends." But then Sheena goes on to tell us that every guy in the circle has tried to hit it and quit it. Everyone. And James is like, "Not me." And she's like, "Oh, yeah, you were drunk." And he's like, "I didn't remember that. What?" She's like, "Yeah, you like said something. We were best friends and you were at the DJ booth. And that's what happened." And James did not remember. He did not remember. And then she's like, and then Andy goes, "How about Tom Sandoval?" And she's like, "Yeah, Tom Sandoval too." And Tom Sandoval's like, "Oh, what? Oh, you act like I'll put my dick in anything." Well, okay. Well, you might have a point there. Sandoval's like, "No." And Sheena's like, "Yeah, we were best friends," was earlier. Shout out to Christina Coca. It was during upfronts, and we were best friends. And we were doing Watch What Happens Live with Jackson Stassi. And we went back to the hotel room because we were best friends. And in the hotel room, you proceeded to tell me that you and Kristen were not best genital friends and you guys weren't having sex. And I was like, I mean, that's believable. Even Ariana's like, that's his line. That's his favorite line when he tries to hook up with another woman while still in a relationship with someone else. He's literally said it every time. "She doesn't even touch my dick anymore. God, my dick hurts. It needs some love. Okay?"
Guess what? I was very impressionable when she took all her clothes off and jumped in my pool.
Have some remorse. Have some sensitivity.
"Try to control your dick, Tom. I am." So Kristen wasn't touching his dick and he tried to hook up with Sheena, which I believe 100%. Obviously, he's a liar and a slut. He's a slutty liar. Hi, Linda. Thank you so much for the super chat. Linda says Lala is no match for Ariana in a verbal debate, or for Katie for that matter. She's not. She's mentally mini when it comes to them. She's a mental mini when it comes to going toe to toe with these ladies. Yes, Dossier, I am. Have you ever heard a 66-year-old man talk like that? I mean, I remember my grandpa, R.I.P. Wally, love you. Never once did my grandpa, same age as Tom Sandoval, both born in the greatest generation, only one of them was truly great, Wally, would he ever say, Emma? He just, what? No, that's not how men talk, or women, or humans for that matter. Okay, maybe hamsters. I don't know. All right. So Sheena gets her big moment to be like, everybody's hitting on me, but we were best friends. And it's really boring. And then we get to see another glimpse of Tom Sandy Butt's true self when Andy goes, "Did you really hook up with her?" And Tom Sandoval's like, he just like whitened his teeth or something. So he's all excited to smile, you know. And he goes, "I woke up with a lockjaw and shit out a condom 2 weeks later." You're like, okay, Dad, please stop. It's like a cringy dad making jokes to your friends at a party. You're like, go to bed, Dad. And he's like, you guys want to hear the one about I woke up with a lockjaw and a shit out a condom 2 weeks later? I read it on the Google. Go to bed, Tom. Tom, seriously, you need to check yourself in somewhere. It's some kind of home where they can just tuck you in, give you some soup, put some Ensure on the bedstand, the nightstand. It's not good. All right. We then want to talk about Katie. Has Katie Maloney, has she? Well, yeah, she has. We know. But her hooking up with Max. Max, the season 8 failure that is Max, whatever his name is, who apparently we learned this season was Schwartz's best friend. So Schwartz, similar to Sheena, has a lot of best friends. And I'm under the, understanding that after 40, sometimes after 35, you can't have more than 15 best friends, 14 or under. Okay. It's kind of like the express checkout line. What is that? 11, 12 items or less. You got to have, we'll do 11 best friends or less, just like the quick checkouts. So they talk about that, and Schwartz is really trying to push this narrative that Katie is as bad as him. Similar to how Schwartz did not respect Katie's boundaries when they wanted to remain friends despite getting divorced. And she said, just don't hook up with someone in the group. Just don't do it. And Schwartz is like, and then doesn't listen to her, doesn't respect her, similar to the marriage, because what makes us think he would respect her now as friends when he didn't respect her as the wife, which is higher up than the friend. Okay. And so Schwartz is, still trying to be like, well, Katie, see, now we're the same person. He even said that. And it's like, no, Katie told you, you guys put your trains, your choo-choos in the chat. Katie warned you, if you don't start respecting me, I am going to run a train through your friend group, through your restaurant, through your life. I'll have sex with your dad. Choo, choo. You still got a grandpa. Choo, choo. Like she told you, sir. She told you. Chugga, 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 choo, choo. She's going to bang him. And you, Mr. Accessory to the crime of scandal, were more than willing to be hooking it up with Rachel Raquel, kissing on camera, causing Katie Maloney undue, unnecessary stress and hurt. For what? For what? Right? Come on, ride that train. We need that song. And ride it. Run that train, Cammie says. It's a choo-choo train. I think I can. I think I can. I think I can. I think I can. So that's what Katie did. She was like, I think I can do Max. I think I can do Max. Like she was like, and she did it. And I hope she has sex with all of his friends. I hope she has sex in front of him. I hope while he's crying in a corner. No, Jolene, that's taking it too far. But is it? It might be. I'll talk to my therapist about it and let you guys know what she says. But I love that Katie's doing that. But Tom is still, he's like, no, I'm fine with it. I tried to manifest it. Yeah. So then you would see that I would react differently. Listen, just because you reacted differently because all you and your dude friends are big, huge hoes, it doesn't mean anything. You guys have been sharing, sparing, not caring since the beginning. So of course you're going to react like that. But deep down, Schwartz, it does hurt you. And you sit at home in the corner of your apartment, okay, next to one of your plants, probably one near death for more melodrama, and you rock back and forth and you cry, you go, Katie, while you hold a piece of her hair that you kept from the last haircut you were at with her. I don't know. That might not be true, but you do care, Schwartz. But you're trying to, make her look bad, which is what you like to do, okay? Well, it's what you like to do, So Katie, and they were like, Katie, have you hooked up with Max again? And I just love this energy from Katie. It's so amazing. And James Kennedy was saying this on the after show. I think it was. I don't think it was on the reunion. I think it was on the after show. Just how Katie, because they were like, will Schwartz and Katie ever get back together? And James Kennedy's like, no, Katie's like her best self. Why would she get back together with him? And Katie's just like, I don't remember. I might have. I'm not sure. I've hooked up with lots of hot guys since then. Just all their dicks worked. They weren't gaslighting me. They didn't have a boss friend named Tom Sandoval. It was amazing. It's so hot when a guy cares about you and listens to you and doesn't simp to another problematic man. I don't know. It just gets my vulvas going. Okay, you guys, calm it down. Calm it down. Then they talk about the Tahoe trip. Oh my God. Tom Schwartz is like, it wasn't, so Schwartz knows now. You can tell that Schwartz and Tom Sandoval, they know now that everyone is complaining that this is a Sandoval redemption arc. So now every interview you see, they will mention, I don't know why people think this is a Sandoval redemption arc. I don't know why you think, I don't know what's going on here. So they're just throwing our words and terms back at us as some kind of propaganda. If they say it enough, we'll start believing, oh, no, it is not. Like we'll turn into Stepford Wives and be like, it is not a Sandoval redemption arc season. No, it is not. We should have just sat here with our tits and been quiet. Why would we think that? Like it's just, Like quit using our terms, okay? You already took our purses, Tom Sandoval, and our pantsuits, and you hate us. You can't take our terms. We came up with that, and we're mad about it. So he's like, it wasn't a Sandoval redemption trip. It was just, it was a way to get, like, restore some humanity in him. What? What? Talk about melodrama. These dudes are menstruating. What is happening over here? Check your hormone levels. What's going on? Why are women always accused of this when you're out there acting like a whole dead poet society trying to make this into something it's not? Just his humanity, that's up to him. I mean, I don't think there's a soul in there, allegedly. Okay, everything I say is true, except for the parts that are false. All right? Everything's alleged for entertainment purposes only. But what? Stop it, sir. Get on some hormones or something. Pop a Midol. We got to calm it down a little bit. And he's just like, it's just humanity. We just want to give him some humanity. Huh? Okay. You're weird. They talk and then they bring up, so infuriating, that Ariana, you have a ego? Do you have an ego, Ariana? Is there an ego? And Ariana's like, okay, well, I don't know where this ego thing came from because the only person I've heard say this bullshit is Tom Schwartz. And in that moment, Lala Kent, Lauren from Utah, with the Tupac inside of her, according to her, she was like, she licked her swollen lips. So she was like she took one of those like cartoon sized swallows. Because it's like, oh, because again, Ariana hasn't watched the season. So, or the after shows, I'm assuming, where it's not only Tom Schwartz or the interviews she's been doing. So Lala's been saying this all around town. Oh my God. She shows up in like a puffy coat with her like hair tied back in huge hoops. And she was like, you think my ego is bad, bitch. Ariana's ego's bad. And we're like, what? Really, again, trying to throw this propaganda at us. Like, we're going to believe that. You'll see it. I'm like, I'm still waiting for Ariana's huge ego that's going to overcome and be like so big that it will just encompass and take over Lala's extreme ego, Sandoval's huge ego. I mean, are you kidding me? It hasn't happened. So Lala's like, I'm like, oh, bitch, I thought we were being real. What happened to being real? Say it, don't spray it. What happened to like, I am the truth. Disengage. Miss, everybody be honest. Well, why don't you be honest and tell Ariana? Because this is after all the interviews and all the after shows where you've talked about her big ego. Why don't you tell her how you really feel? So Andy just literally said, just asked her about it. And Ariana just said, well, the only person saying it is Schwartz. And you sat there like a little chicken nugget. You were like, I don't know what he's talking about. It's not me. Talk about not sharing how you really feel. You know, say it. Yeah, say it with your whole chest, Lala. Say it with your whole ass chest. She didn't admit it. Keep it reals, Lauren. Lauren, keep it reals, okay? Do you want to get popped? Lauren, don't get popped. Don't get popped. You need to be honest on how much of a player hater you were. You've been robbed. Like, seriously, ma'am, that was pretty fake and phony. I don't know, you guys. That I was just like, huh? What? Get the nails going like this and tell us something. Tell us.
You think, James, that every single one of us has not put ourselves in Ariana's situation? You're out of your goddamn mind.
I'm just asking.
The difference here is you don't get to roll up on people and tell them you don't get to kick it with Tom Sandoval. But I'm gonna go home where he sleeps, I sleep down the hall. It don't work that way. Could you imagine if I said to Schwartzy, how dare you play pickleball with my ex? And I
You
still
did.
lived in the house, I wouldn't have a fucking leg to stand on. And everyone
But
would
you
have called
never
me out on it.
Oh, Lala. Oh, Lauren. So then they talk about how Ariana felt hearing Sheena take up for Tom, like seeing that. And then Sheena's like, my best friend Ariana didn't watch the show. And they're like, haha, she didn't watch the show. And they played the clip of Sheena with her, a bucket hat. I don't have a bucket hat, just this regular awesome hat from Steven. And she was just like, I can't keep hating him for you. I don't know if she smokes a vape. I feel like everybody smokes a vape, but she's like, I can't keep hating him for you. And we're like, oh my God, cancel the season. All right, do let's get anything else. Can we just get like a docu-series, like a spinoff in the Berkshires at Dorinda's Manor, please? Can we at Bluestone? Let's just cancel it. But they didn't. Okay. So, so they talk about the call from Lake Tahoe. Andy talks to Lala about her clear boundaries. Andy's like, okay, so Lala, when you broke up with Randall, remember Pickleball Randall? Remember that guy that you shoved down our throats season after season after season after season? You were like, this is my man. Wait till you guys see my man. You're just jealous of my man. I hit it the first night and I got a Range Rover, bitch. I like to dress up and go to the hotel. And then he pretends to be the, what's it called? Oh, the casting director. And I want to get the part. And I'm like, put it in my part for the part. And we're like, that's a Harvey Weinstein fantasy. Like, what are you talking about? Hashtag get out of here. Me too. Get out of here. Like, what? So Andy's like, remember the clear boundaries you had with Pickleball Randall when you were like, no one will play, thou shall not cross, no one shall play pickleball with the Randall with the no neck. If you see a man with a raspy voice like he's eaten a carton of cigarettes a day for 30 years, you must not play pickleball with him, even if he says he'll put you in his movie as a producer or an actress. Thou must not. And she's like, yeah, bitch, it makes sense. Like she was, it was just like, what? Lala's like, oh yeah, I did do that. And Andy's like, okay, so you had these very clear boundaries that no one could F's, because you gets to clapping, you said, and no one could F with your man. Don't mess with my man. I'm going to be the one to bring it to the pickleball court and stab you. Like, you made it clear. How is this any different than what Ariana's asking? Then why isn't what she's asking with her boundaries reasonable? And then Sheena chimes in right away. And she's like, well, okay, I'm going to talk for my best friend Lala. And basically, it was more than cheating with Randall. Read my best friend. You have to read the New York Times. We don't, or the LA Times. I forget which one we don't because Brock won't pay for it. He thinks $4 is too much and we're waiting for Sandoval to send his next PayPal. So we don't have it. But also there's a Hulu documentary. So, and I'm like, Sheena, what are you doing right now? Are you, again, comparison is the thief of joy, ladies. Are you comparing Lala's situation and that it's worse than Ariana's? I would argue Lala kind of knew, right? Like more so, like there's a little responsibility that is on everybody, in these kind of situations. You kind of know stuff. It wasn't like she was completely blindsided that a guy that looks, talks, and acts like this and would cheat on his wife with you would then behave this way, right? Right? I don't know. Yeah, the one that you'd get in a fight and he would take your Gucci slides and you would be like, listen, he can take my Gucci slides. He can take my BJs for PJs. There's Lala herself said there are other dicks I can suck to get on a PJ. And we were like, what? But I thought this was love. Oh, if you can't believe in Lala and Randall, who can you believe in? But now there's different rules for Ariana. It's not reasonable because Lala, again, is like, I am a mother. I am a mother trying to feed my child, and there's a child involved. And so you don't have a child. So your pain isn't as painful. Okay. And we're like, what? Nobody is downplaying that. Like, we hope the best for you and beautiful ocean. Like, God bless. But also, ma'am, like, that's another grown-up decision you made to procreate with this man. So, of course, unfortunately, for the rest of your life, you're going to have some kind of relationship with him for your daughter. Okay. How is that Ariana's problem? She can still set boundaries for herself. A little ridiculous there. And then, so she's again hiding behind, like, I am a breeder. I'm a single mom who works 2 jobs, whatever that Reba McEntire. I never even watched that show, but people always share it on Instagram, the intro, and it works in so many situations. The intro to that Reba McEntire show. I think it was Reba McEntire back in the 90s. A single mom that works 2 jobs. Thank you, Christina, for becoming a member over on my Patreon. I just got a notification. Thank you so much. So then Lala also brings up, it's for my child. For my child. Well, then you might want to have to talk to him, right? For your child. Okay. And Lala brings up that Ariana can't have boundaries because you slipped up. I'm confused, Ariana, she said. Bitch, I'm confused, she said. She did this with the guns, and she said, I'm confused because you slipped down the hall from him. So explain yourself. And Ariana's like, well, similar to you feeling like, you have to protect your child. I, who did not have children, I have to protect my investment, which is important to me because everybody's idea of importance, you're no better just because you have a child. That's not how this works. We're always supportive of you. You're a great mom. Woobity woo. We love it. But, so I'm going to protect my investment. I'm not going to let this man who tried to ruin me and my life and paint me in a false light and now is getting this redemption arc season while my own friends are shitting on me. I'm not going to let him take my money when I have been so kind and so generous as to allow him to go off with his dumb dreams and even take against the equity of the home. So I'm not going to let him rob me. And Lala, she doesn't get it. She doesn't understand that at all. Ariana even brings up, well, I mean, did you have a problem? Because also Lala's like, and you dating 10 days later. It's like, girl, you really want Daniel. Like, you're really lusting. You're thirsting. She's just like, her underpants are going crazy for Danny because she saw him with his hair down and his shirt off and all like wet in a towel. So Ariana's like, well, Katie dated. Did you have an issue with that when she was split from Schwartz? And Katie's like, yeah, girl, tell him. Mm-hmm. Did you have an issue with that? And she's like, that was different. Lala says that Katie wasn't traumatized by a man for 10 years. More proof that Lala doesn't listen to her friends. If you look at Katie Maloney's relationship and marriage with a man she had to raise from scratch like he was a damn fetus. She carried him, then she had to birth him and raise him for 12 years or however long they were together. And you don't think that this man traumatized her? You weren't listening. You weren't paying attention because he continues to do this kind of shit. But again, Lala, if it's not about her, she don't care. She's not interested. Ariana's like, okay, you don't have to understand my situation, but I want you to respect my boundaries because I respect your boundaries. Lala's like, but bitch, I don't understand. I'm confused. And it's like, okay, well, just because you got a micro machine mind, there's nothing that's not my fault. That doesn't mean you can't still respect me and respect my boundaries and my decision. Lala's like, okay, Ariana, I respect you, but you're not and then Ariana's like, but you're not talking to me respectfully. You're not doing that. And Lala's just like, oh, I mean, Ariana is just hitting like all the points with receipts, with the proof, with all the things. And Lala just keeps trying to make this whole, it's not the same. You don't get it. You were asking too much. And then we get to the real reason. I think one of the real reasons that Lala's mad at Ariana. And Lala's like, oh, well, I might not be talking to you respectfully, but you didn't respect me 12 seasons ago. I don't know, maybe it was 2 seasons ago. 2 seasons ago when Charlie, and it made me miss Charlie. It did make me miss Charlie. There were moments where Charlie would clock things and I was like, get it, girl. Yes. Yes, Charlie. When Charlie was at your house, okay, and you did not stick up for me when she was basically saying I wasn't a good enough home wrecking hoe. Well, that's subjective, okay, and that was just her opinion. And shout out to Bywig Hello Drama on Twitter. And here's their other faces when someone says something like that. It can be kind of shocking. Okay. And Bywig Hello Drama clocks it too and says, oh, so now we know why Lala's pissed at Ariana. She's mad Ariana giggled when Charlie ate her up. And Charlie's exact words, I believe, were Lala is just embarrassed now that her life didn't pan out the way she planned. And she fucked the wrong guy for the money and didn't get a house or anything out of it. Charlie then says she believes Lala took an L. But Ariana tells Lala in this moment, oh, but Lala, we talked about this. Okay, we already had a conversation about this. We were fine. We moved on. I apologize. Remember, we were in the plant store. And Lala says, yeah, bitch, but that shit didn't air. Do you want to get popped? That shit didn't air. And it's like, this woman she is just like, fourth wall, what? She is like production. Does she think she's Jeremiah Was a Bullfrog now? It's all the inside baseball stuff that we don't necessarily need to know all of this shit. But that shit didn't air, bitch. It's like, okay, well, we'll see that on the episode that's after the third part of the reunion, the like stuff we didn't see from the season or something. Calm down. And Ariana says, oh, well, it didn't air, so you're going to act like it didn't happen, which is very interesting, just how Lala talks about I keeps it real and I gets to clapping. Her words, not mine. She gets to clapping sometimes and she keeps it real. And then how she doesn't really keep it real. Because she just wants to keep it about the show and what airs. Because the really real was that Ariana has no say when things are on the editing floor. And most likely production, much like me when I'm listening to this, was bored AF with this and was like, oh, we don't need to play this because who cares? Charlie ate you up. Charlie, nom, 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 nom. She had a great dinner that day. She left no crumbs. She had dessert. She hit the buffet afterwards. Like, no, take the L. You just have to take the L. Charlie, if you got a problem, go talk to Charlie. Go talk to Charlie with your tough girl talk. Okay, because I do remember a time when Charlie was on the show when you were trying to do tough girl talk on her. And it didn't work. So if she wants to take a couple, that's part of the game, right, Lauren? That's part of the game, Lauren. We're moving the goalposts for you because you can't keep up with the game that you like to mention all the time is a game that we're doing. It's like, what? Lauren, stop it. Stop. She needs to go back to Utah, go to one of them retreats or something. She needs to hit up Heather Gay. Maybe they can go sit in them outdoor bathtubs in the Red Rock and just soak the brain, soak the baby door, soak it all. Just get a good soaking in because something's not soaking in her brain about why her stuff's not making sense. So since it didn't air on television, it didn't really happen because Lala's life is television, you guys, but she's the realest bitch. And don't you come for her because she will come for you in worse ways you can imagine. I'm like what? Like read me on your like a like a rehearsed read on your Amazon Live? Is that what we have to fear? Ooh, spooky. This is so ridiculously silly when you think about that this woman is in her 30s and is about to be the mother of 2. And this is the way she's talking about. Okay, cool. So Lala's situation is very different. And Lala said Ariana's situation of boundaries and living with Tom didn't make sense to her. And Ariana says, I don't fucking care. She said that I always have known Lala's situation as different, but I always supported that, Lala. I've always known your situation is different, but I always supported it. Lala keeps breaking the fourth wall and says, But baby girl, he's asking you a question, Ariana. We've been doing this a long time. You know how this works. This is her way. It's a really, and I'm sure someone smarter than myself in the chat will know this kind of method of debate, which really isn't a good method of debate, but it's, she's on the defense. She's on her heels over here. And so she just kind of keeps throwing things in Ariana's face that don't necessarily make sense. It's like, you know how the game's played. Yeah, Ariana's telling you exactly what happened. We went to the plant shop. I told you that if I could, I apologize to you. I should have told Charlie, maybe don't say that. Okay? Maybe don't say that, or however she put it. All right. And and Lala's like, whatever. So we've been doing this a long time. You know how this works, Ariana. Finger gun, Lauren from Utah. And then Ariana goes, yeah, you talk the loudest, so you're always right. And I'm like, oh God, Lauren, I heard some rumors. People have been talking, saying that Lauren, there were some blind items on Demois and other places that Lauren was possibly from being producer's pet or doing this. There was some talks that her and her fam bam, white boy dreads, and her cute little mom were going to get their own show because they have an interesting family dynamic. And I will say, it is kind of interesting. And I would have fully been on board to watch that. But now I'm like, oh no, this bitch will just say anything for money. Nah, thanks. I can see that anywhere. Nah, thanks. Nah, thanks. Everything's disingenuous. I don't like, me no yike. I don't yike it. Just like my little niece used to say, I know yike. Me no yike. I know yike, Joleen. I know yike it. I don't like it. So it's like, you ruined it for me. And so there were hints to this on her Instagram Live. And now I think that's probably, who knows with Bravo, but I don't think with her current rating that, what she's, blind item, I think, is when someone sends something in, like, I have this information, I'm going to send it to you, but I can't for sure verify that it's true. And I'm not going to tell you my name. So it's just like, don't look. I'm going to tell you this real quick. Don't look at me. Don't look at me. And they're like, it's Jenny. Stop. Take my name off there. Just put blind item. Okay. Or it's just people making stuff up. But then there was some receipts that I saw. Was it Buy Wig Hello Drama? Or was it, oh shoot, I forget the Bravo account. But they're great. And they kind of did a little dig into this and saw that around the time that maybe Lala was, like she said to us, talking to Jeremiah Was a Bullfrog, one of the executive producers, about kind of exposing Ariana this season as a big ego and taking up for Tom Sandoval, that maybe around then something was promised to her, one of these things. And so she also, this person on their Instagram also showed the clip of Lauren from Utah being like, oh, what? Someone conveniently in the chat. Is that you, Jessica? It's not you, Jessica. It was Jessica. Jessica in the chat. Jessica in the chat. Is that you? It's not you, Jessica. Jessica's like, I just want this job. Can I get dental now? And she was like, I heard rumors that if you and your parents, your family ever got a reality show, would you do it? And Lala's like, hells yeah, I would do it. Okay. But I told my moms, I said, moms, listen up, Lisa. I said, Lisa, you got to be who you got to be. Who you is right now is who you got to be forever and ever. Amen. Unless you want to get popped reality TV style. Okay, Lisa? Because there's nothing worse than phony ass people saying stuff behind the scenes, Katie Maloney, and not doing shit about it to their friend Ariana. Okay, boom, boom, pow. So it seemed to make a little more sense when they posted that on Instagram. All right. So, but unfortunately for Lala, all the movements, all the adjusting of the Spanx and the labia cannot fight Ariana and her, dagger for a tongue. Ariana is clever, wit on point, smart, reads books, okay, and not just articles about herself, but books. And she just shut her down, and she was like, yeah, I know how this works. Yep. You talk the loudest, so you're always right. Sure. It's like do less. You have to do less. Andy asks about the photo. Oh, here comes the part. Here comes the part. The photo heard around Tahoe and the interwebs where Sheena, Boss Franz, Sheena, took a picture when a fan came up and requested a picture, and Sheena just happened to be standing right next to Tom Sandoval. And I think you guys aren't going to like me for this, but I am going to take Sheena's side on this. Don't leave. Don't leave. Hear me out. Hear me out. Have you ever thought of this? Okay. Again, shout out to my grandpa, Wally, up in heaven, RIP, love you. Did you ever think Tom Sandoval? He is a very old man. He might have needed help standing up. Sheena's known him a long time since, shout out to Christina Coca, the upfronts. And she was holding him up, okay? And just like wanting him to keep his dignity. So she was just holding him up. And that's kind of what I think might have happened there. Maybe. Okay, maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe not. Okay. So Sheena's like, yeah, oh my God, we took a picture. It was like every fans asked for pictures. And I was with my boss friends. And then Schwartz and Sam, everyone's like, yeah, let's shit on Ariana. That was ridiculous action. And Ariana's like, oh no, I kind of felt like, yeah, I felt some type of way when I saw it. But yeah, then after talking to Lala, do you see how logical Ariana could be, despite Lala trying to throw her under the bus, despite her doing the most with the she can still be a logical, reasonable human being. It's what a novel idea. And she can say, but you know what, Lala, that conversation you had with me about Sheena, which I thought was a waste of time because I'm not as logical or reasonable, nor do I ever want to be. When you told me that, I could make a difference by saying something, now I'm like forgetting that stupid scene of when they're like, but Sheena's getting a lot of hate online. Not getting a lot of hate online on a reality show. Not getting criticized. Oh my God. And Ariana's like, yeah, I just don't want to make more headlines. Like I already have so many headlines surrounding me. I'm trying to stay focused, do my thing. It'll go away. I feel like if I say something, it'll just exacerbate it and make it, bigger than it needs to be. But Lala talked to Ariana, and Ariana ultimately made a post in favor of Sheena to save her friend. And then what does Sheena do? In the reunion, she goes, I understand because I've known Ariana for a long time and she's my boss friend after Janet from the Valley, Lala, Jasmine, Brittany, anyone else who will get me on the Valley, even though Jack says he doesn't want any Vanderpump Rules people on the Valley, according to him today. But yeah, she's a boss friend. And I understand that she doesn't want to be in the media, but guess what? I don't always want to be either. But there's so many stories about me. And I'm like, oh, here we go. Sheena, you are honestly going to tell me. Who has the podcast? Who has the podcast that talks about the show, that could put her in headlines, that bloggers grab, that talks about the show? Sheena. So of course you're going to be in headlines. You're going to be quoted on stuff. That's what you do. Ariana doesn't do that. She don't do that. Katie finally has a podcast, but she don't really talk about that much. You and Lala legitimately, real life, have podcasts where you talk about this shit, hoping someone will clip something from it to promote your podcast. You sell merch about the things that are said on the show. You do all these things, and yet you're like, I don't always want to be in the headlines. No, you're lying to our faces again. Of course you want to be in the headlines. Of course you want to be in these stories. What are you talking about? I'm just, at this point, Hype Man Husband Shell was watching this with me, and it was 24 minutes in, and I said, I'm exhausted. I'm so tired. We're talking about how things affected Sheena. Christina, yay, heyo. Christina's going to be with you next Wednesday. We're so excited. Me and my boss friends are here. I'm so glad you're here, Christina, with your boss friends. And go, if you're not already subbed to Christina, obviously, you guys know the drill. Head over to her YouTube channel and also her Instagram and TikTok, because she keeps making these amazing videos where it's just like, oh, you said this, but then you said this, and then you said this. And Lala with the rehearsed reads. So, new best friends. So Lala is It's just Sheena, Lala, it's a mess at this point. Ariana said, okay, so she respected the conversation around the picture, and Andy asked, Sheena, what this question was. This is the bane of my existence. The fact that these questions have to be asked. Andy Cohen's question, I'm paraphrasing, possibly quoting, I don't remember. He said, Sheena, how did Ariana being on Dancing with the Stars hurt you? And I'm like, oh my God. How could your friend's triumphant return after a horrible cheating scandal that happened to her, not with her? How did her getting these wonderful opportunities that she's been working for her whole life through a theater major and acting classes and dancing classes and being able to sing and actually having talent, how could that hurt you? And Sheena's like, I am so glad you asked me that, Andy. Thank you. You're my boss friend. Gail, thank you so much. Gail gifted a membership to the channel. Thank you, sweetie. I appreciate that. Gail. Woo, woo. I don't know who got it. Let us know in the chat if you got the membership. That was so sweet. Okay. And she was like, I'm so glad you asked me that. Okay. I'm hurt because Ariana's my best friend and Logan knew about it and Lisa Vanderpump knew about it and Danielle knew about it and I didn't know about it. Okay, so I didn't find out, and it was really hard for me. Can you wake me up when this Sheena ends? Like, can we get what's happening? Can we get a different one? No, please, no. It's too much, Sheena. It's too much now. And Ariana's like, okay, well, here's what happened. I'll explain it for the 27th time. People, Dancing with the Stars likes to keep it really locked tight who they have. I was terrified getting this big opportunity that if this information was leaked, I would lose my spot because the producer says sometimes that happens. If people find out you're going to be on the show, sometimes they'll be like, well, we're not going to have you on the show. So it was already, we had like a breach somewhere. People were already starting to speculate. They're like, you got to put this shit on lockdown. And Andy's like, oh, so you didn't trust Sheena? She's like, no, it's not that I didn't trust Sheena. It's that I didn't trust she's being watched 24/7. I mean, we're just coming out of Scandival and we all have paparazzi around us. I can't trust that she won't be overheard while I'm telling her, or, maybe she's just talking to Brock, her husband, and she's overheard. Like, that's what I can't. And Brock was like, it's a likely story, Ariana. Okay. Brock looked like he was like, every time Brock's like, oh, guy, I'm like, Brock, no, please. Please don't do this, sir. But Brock was like, did she just talk about my wife? But not, okay? Because Sheena, she can keep a secret like a vault, all right? We're like, no, Brock. No, sir. Thank you, Gemini Joe, for the super chat. Gemini Joe says, you and Nana need to check your P.O. boxes. I'll check it. I'll check it this week. Thank you so much for the reminder. I think my husband, Shell, just went there last week. So I'll check it this week. Okay. Then we get into the whole conversation of Sheena wanting to be on Dancing with the Stars. How is this relevant to this reunion, this show, this season? If anything, Andy should have been like, don't you think that took away from your friend? Like, don't you think that's a weird thing to be worried about what number, in what order you find out about it? Isn't that kind of weird? Isn't that kind of childish? Like, she should call me like at least third. Shouldn't you just be happy for your friend? Doesn't that seem like you're taking away from her joy, making her have to worry about this shit? Again, maybe something you should have vented to a friend to, not Lala, because she'll spill it, but maybe somebody else, maybe Janet, because Janet seems to be, as much as people I know aren't enjoying Janet, she seems to be very pro Ariana, but she is a gossip, so maybe don't tell her. But find somebody. Tell your little sister. She's not going to say nothing. Or how about that pink-haired lady? We're probably never going to see her again. Tell anybody else. Just vent real quick rather than going and putting this extra stress on Ariana as she's trying to keep this awesome gig. Just be happy for her. Again, you're making it all about yourself. And then Andy's like, oh, they have to have you on Dancing with the Stars. They just have to have you on Dancing with the Stars. I don't know what I'll do if they don't have you on Dancing with the Stars. And Sheena's like, right? And Andy's like, please have her on Dancing with the Stars. Like, he was begging, looking straight at the camera. And also, yeah, she probably did tell LVP because LVP was on Dancing with the Stars. Okay. And our LVP probably still has contacts with producers there, and she probably heard about it. So I'm surprised she didn't sell the story to one of the places, Lucy Juicy Apple Strucy. But maybe she did. Okay. Um, but Andy's just like, please have her on. I mean, God, it's cruel at this point. And I'm thinking, oh, Andy, you're gonna like push her off the ledge with this one, please. We know Sheena right now. It's not a good time. I don't know if ever's a good time. We can't play around like this. But they're probably not gonna have her on Dancing with the Stars now. I heard maybe Sutton. That's the word on the curb. Is like Sutton. I know they can have multiple Bravo people. I don't think it would be Sheena, especially after this season. That would be weird. What if they ask Katie? Oh my God. That would be amazing if they ask Katie. Lala and Sheena's heads. Now all we need is Katie to write a New York Times bestselling book. And they won't be able to handle it. They will not be able to handle it. I don't know, Cassandra. I don't think Sheena does get embarrassed. I think she's been doing this so long that she's just leaned into it. I mean, she's selling t-shirts now. They're like, is it about me? Did you check on Sheena or one of those things? So yeah, please ask Katie. I mean, Andy, it's like he's pushing. Andy's borderline bullying Sheena at this point, knowing how much she wants it. Okay. So after that exhausting bit, I'm like, oh, thank goodness. Oh, we get a little break. You know, when you're looking forward to the commercials, or if they get Brock's like, it's me. Okay, I'm going to Sheena, they picked me because I like to play rugby, football, as they call it over here. Yes, okay. I'm going to dance because we've seen his dance moves. He's like, shake, 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 shake your booty. He like really gets down. He takes it down to Johnny Town. Like he's like, He's flexible too. He can like smell his own balls. I watched one of his dances. I was like, oh, he's getting it. He's getting low. So we get a little breaky break. And then please welcome to the stage, Joe and Allie. Allie, great. Awesome. Thank you. Love it. And then here comes Joe, the self-proclaimed best dressed woman of Vanderpump Rules reunion. That's all she's been saying. Oh my God, it's so funny. My watch thinks I'm working out because this is the most movement that I do, guys. Okay, I got to work on that. But here comes Joe, just like, where's my victim seat? Is it over there? Is that where the victim seat is? Okay, I'm gonna sit over there. So Joe comes out. Yeah, Joe. And in parentheses, not Tom's girlfriend. Okay. Tom actually had a t-shirt on that with an arrow that pointed to her that said not with her, which I thought was very rude. I wouldn't have done that. Andy asks about Joe's introduction into the show, into the group. Joe talks about, Andy, it's like I knew of him. Like we were texting each other here and there. Sometimes I'd cut his hair and do stuff. And then like, I would be like, he was like, and then we would drink apple juice together and we would just talk about like, what happens if all the aliens come down and they want us to wear their underwear. And I was like, that's so weird. I don't want to talk about that. So yeah, I was leaving my apartment. I had an apartment, apparently, allegedly I had an apartment, and this apartment I had to leave and I needed some place to crash. So I was couch surfing. I was couch surfing because I surf in the ocean. So I'm going to surf on a couch. It's just what you do. I'm from Ventura. You don't understand. If you're not from California, if you live in Santa Monica, you're a little bougier. You're probably not doing a whole lot of surfing, but if you're in Ventura, you're grungy, you're granola. You will sleep in your mascara for 7 days. I'm that cool of a chick. You don't understand. I have roller skates. Okay. And mini backpacks, and I take off and I just was couch surfing because like I'm only 36, it's like, let me live. So she's couch surfing. However, it's brought up that, you needed a place to stay. Well, Kristen Doty, they're like, oh no, Joe was best friends with Kristen Doty. Okay. She had like been in this group for a long time. And Kristen Doty has said multiple times that she had a whole extra bedroom in her new 2-bedroom. So I think she was probably by then already into the 2-bedroom apartment we see her and Luke in, and Luke wasn't there. Or maybe either way, Kristen said Luke wasn't there at the time. She had an extra bedroom, or maybe Luke was there, but she had this extra bedroom, right? And boy, what happened was she wanted that Schwartz weenie peenie so much that she just stopped talking to Kristen and was like, I'm going on the show. I will fall in love with Schwartz. I will bleach his hair so good I will become his wife. And we're like, okay. So Joe starts talking about that and how they started hooking up after like, she only couched her for 4 days, you guys. But in that 4 days, they found love in a dirty, plant-infested place. All right? We found love with unorganized shit, just with all the shoe boxes and the lack of a couch for a little bit and just plant. They did it on the hibiscus. Is that a plant? No, that's a tea. They did it on the mother-in-law's tongue. That sounds bad, but you know, I'm talking about that one. I have that plant. Anyways, lots of plants. And they ask, you know, how were you friends? Well, again, Dodie brought her into the group. Kristen Dodie. And then they said, why didn't you stay with, they could have stayed with Dodie. And then we get this story of how Dodie had a chaotic living situation. So she just couldn't stay with her baby doll. We've seen Joe go live now on Instagram as the season's been airing. There's no way, and Kristen Dodie's chaotic, but there is no way Kristen Dodie is as chaotic as you. That just, your chaoticness supersedes, like it just transcends. It takes off. And I love how she's just throwing Kristen under the bus with this. Like, I couldn't. She was so chaotic. Oh, because you like it calm. Yes, of course. You have that very calming energy. All right. Then Katie's trying to say things and Joe is interrupting. She's like, from the minute she sits down, she's like, I tried to wear makeup like the rest of these girls, even though I'm a cool girl. I'm not like a regular girl. I'm a cool girl. Okay. And she's like, oh my God, I even put on lip gloss and I put on a horsehair pony and I got a stylist named Sonia who in a couple weeks, I'm going to stomp off alive with her because people have very logical questions about a dog I'm sad fishing and possibly grifting for and manipulating everyone about. When I say I'm going to do a live, you can ask me about my dog Checkers, but don't ask me the wrong question because I'm going to leave and call you a troll. But I digress. Okay. So Joe's just like, what is that? What is breadcrumbing? Because Katie's like, he was breadcrumbing her. And she's like, what's oh, you feel bad for me? 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 And I'm like, can she finish the sentence, Joe? Please, baby doll, please. Can she finish? And Joe's like, what's up, Sheena? And Sheena has to explain it. Sheena is her Encyclopedia Britannica. Sheena's like, breadcrumbing means he's just like giving you like a little bit, like a breadcrumb. Oh, like I'm following the breadcrumbs, like it's bread. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I get it. Oh my gosh. So Katie's actually, she has very calm energy about this. Okay, very calm energy about this, and she's talking about it. And Ariana she has to talk about, you know, they ask her about why she thought Joe knew about Scandival and was possibly like an accomplice. It's like, we brought up the Big Bear, which I would love to get more in depth about this Big Bear situation. How did it come about? What did you think, Joe, being in Big Bear with Rachel Raquel and Sandoval and you and Schwartz as like a couples trip? What did you think was happening? Why did you think Tom and Ariana weren't together, even though you were just at their house for Thanksgiving? How were you hanging out with Rachel Raquel as much as you were and at the concerts? And then Ariana would show up and you and Rachel Raquel would be in the front. And this is while she's having, you know, this crazy affair with him. And you guys are in the front dancing to him, you know, singing about lightning bolts, like, you know, just like trying to catch a note, like, you know, Pokemon, like he can't catch them all. He can't catch any, you know, he's like, so just like, and then Ariana would come and she'd be like, oh, yeah. And it's very clear. Okay. You know, and Joe's like, I don't know. And Ariana's like, okay, well, I'm not dumb and you knew and whatever. Schwartz explains, you know, me and Joe, we were just, we were like lightning in a bottle. Oh God, another Tom Sandoval. Another song Tom Sandoval has destroyed. Baby, you're like lightning in a bottle, and I can't. You know how he hits that like lightning in a bottle, and he does that, and you're just like, acting like he's Christina Aguilera. Like, no, sir. And so he explains it like that they were lightning in a bottle. Joe's like, yeah. And it's just a very cringe-tastic, awkward situation at this point of Katie talking about the breadcrumbing and saying she felt bad for Joe. And Joe's like, you felt bad for me? Like, yeah, she's being nice. And then Katie says, Schwartz, you weren't clear. You were not clear about what the defined roles in this relationship with Joe or whatever it was. And then Schwartz is like, okay, Katie, we were very clear. And it's so cringe because he's like, we had perfect clarity. And everyone's like, no, on the show, Joe even said you didn't. The producers, she said that the producers had to kind of wake her up to that, to talk about how clear. And Joe has since been on lives reading your text messages, just how unclear you are and how played by you she feels and used. And Katie's like, of course, Joe, I understand that you would feel he was kind of putting you in the girlfriend position. So of course you're going to feel that way. So Katie was totally emphasizing. She was totally sympathizing, empathizing with this woman, trying to help her out. Like, she saw, like, this is what Schwartz does. It sucks. He did it to me. I mean, he claimed me, but you know what I'm saying? Like, he still played me, and then tried to hide behind him, nervous, fingers on my mouth, nervous, kind of thing. And then, so everyone's like, no, Schwartz, you didn't. Joe said on the show, it wasn't, it wasn't clearly defined. Sandoval said, okay, I'm going to help the situation here, because I'm the oldest man in the room. Okay. Shout out to Betty White. Next year, I'm going to be older than she was when she passed. Awesome. Baby, you're like lightning. Okay, that's my song. Sandoval, he said, their relationship didn't look like how it did on TV. So in real life, it didn't look like that. Joe's crying. She's crying. She couldn't wait. She was like, finally, I get to cry. So she's crying. Lala, she's Lauren from Utah. She's like, why are we acting like she's crazy? Why are you trying to make this girl seem like she's crazy? Do you want to get popped? Do you want to get popped in the butt? And they're like, what? Lala? And Joe's like, thank you. It was just a victim to her, like, thank you. And she continues to cry. My husband made a good point. He's like, since I hear you and since I know like the backstory, but as like not like a casual fan, but I guess people who don't know everything going on since then and the way it's edited, of course, you're going to have those people that are going to feel sorry for Joe, who are going to go, oh my God. And there are ways, sometimes I can feel a little sorry for her, but she's just, the more I've watched her and studied her, I really feel like it's very Tom Sandoval-esque. She is going to be the victim 100% of the time, and you can't talk her out of it. And she truly believes that she's in the right. She was harmed. Her actions, just like Tom Sandoval, like her actions, of course she had to act that way. And of course she wouldn't owe Katie an apology. And of course her telling Katie to get over a 12-year relationship and a marriage, hurry up and dismiss that, while then crying months later over a situationship, but yet Katie still showing grace to her, but her still not being able to show that same grace to Katie. She's not going to be able to understand because she thinks she had it worse than Katie, which baffles the mind, but not when you have a mind like Sandoval or Joe, allegedly. So Joe's crying, and Joe's like, thank you, Lala. Schwartz is, then Schwartz starts talking about they start talking about how many times they like hit it, how many times they had sex. Lala's like, how many times y'all bump PPs? How many times y'all bump the PPs? Where the urine comes out? How many? And I'm like, oh my God. She's like, how many times you been up in the urethra? I'm like, Lauren, that's disgusting, Lauren. She was really being gross, guys. No, but she's like, how many times you bump peepees? They're like, I don't know, once, twice, 3 times a lady, once a week. I don't know. Did you say you loved each other? And this got awkward. He's like, yeah, I mean, I love Joe, but I don't like, blah, blah. And she's like, no. You said it the right way. You said it the right way. You did. You said, we don't need to talk about it. And even Lisa Vanderpump's like, I'm sorry, darling. What is happening over here? Schwartz, did you tell this young woman that you loved her and you're sleeping with her? Well, of course she's going to think you're in a relationship. And when Lisa Vanderpump has to tell you, you've went too far into leading on a woman, you're saying you're having the best time. For God's sakes, Schwartz, of course she's going to feel some type of way. And then this kind of personality that we're seeing with Joe, it's kind of, she's like being fed by this. She's like, yes, it does hurt. It does hurt. So super awkward. And then Schwartz is now in this very public relationship with his new girlfriend. So the point is made, like, you hid her, Joe, but now you're in this public relationship you're so proud of and you won't shut up about and you're doing interviews about. And Joe's like, it's fine. It's fine. She had like a Teddy Mellencamp moment. She goes, I'm fine, you guys. I'm fine. And he is almost sociopathic in the way he's so cruelly. You see this woman who clearly is in love with you. He's like, Joseph's dating. And she's like, I'm not. Joseph's fine. Not really. I'm selling breakup sweatsuits on Instagram with a lady named Sonia, and I'm GoFunding for a dog, Checkers, and saying he might lose his eye, but not giving specifics to anyone. And anyone who asks any specifics, even though I'm asking other people for money, I lash out on. So I'm not doing that well, bitch. But I am on Cameo. Check me out. Schwartz proceeds then, seeing her in this like state. I would say, out of respect for Joe, and it's not even, and if she's like, no, it's fine, be like, no, honestly, like, I respect what we had. I mean, not that he would ever say that because he never even said that to Katie, but I don't want to talk about that here. I am dating, and, I hope Joe finds happiness because she deserves it. And she's a beautiful, wonderful person, blah, blah, blah. But it turns out Schwartz goes on to say, after this reunion, that Joe, according to Schwartz, he says she is an egregious liar who he will never talk to again and will never have in his life. But he can't tell us what she lied about, but it was egregious. It's horrible. Okay. So then Schwartz starts talking about his new girlfriend, and he was like, oh my God, Sophia, oh God, I got a boner thinking about it. She's ridiculously good looking. But that's my least favorite thing about her. Oh my God. This guy, he thinks we're dumb. He really does. He thinks he's charming us with that. No, that's your favorite thing, is that she's 23 and attractive. That is your favorite. But she has so many other things going on for her. Like she has the tassels. It's so cute, you guys. Has the tassel, her high school graduation tassels on her rearview mirror, which is such a throwback. And so every time we go through the In-N-Out drive-through to get protein style, they say, sir, what would you like? And for your daughter. And we laugh because, I mean, it does look like that. So he's like, she's ridiculously good looking, right next to Joe, who is already like, are you ashamed of me? And he's like, no, I'm just about to talk about my ridiculously good looking younger girlfriend who I'm claiming and in love with, Sophia. NBD, girl, not a big deal. Calm it down. All right. So, Andy then brings up what Katie has said about Joe. And then Joe breaks down immediately again. They're like, oh, Joe. Let me recognize some of the super chats, you guys. I see that they have been coming in, and I've missed some because I've just been just keeping it going. Peach, thank you so much. Peach says, I just finished watching What in the Fresh F? Yes, exactly. Thank you, Muffy. Muffy says, how can Joe have more followers on IG than Anne? I don't know. I think when you're kind of like my opinion, you're kind of like a trauma pimp, sad fishing sort of, and she did have more time on the show, I guess. But I think there's this whole other element of, pimping her dog out in front of us and being like, he's going to lose his eye if you guys don't give me money. And we're like, what? Well, maybe he might need surgery. We don't know. And we're like, so that could have something to do with it, but go follow Anne, and maybe we could change that. Pamela B says Joe was a little less spastic tonight, though. but in full victim. Christina, thank you for becoming a member. Shout out to Christina Coca, and thank you for the super sticker. Thank you, girl. Shannon Collins, thank you for the super chat. Says, I've been racking my brain for what the mysterious situation that changed their relationship. Maybe she tried to get pregnant. That is one of the things that have been, the rumors have been going around, like she lied about a pregnancy. This is all alleged. We don't know what it was. Some people are speculating it might be some kind of, people go to the worst, obviously, because we're like, God, they make it seem so bad. Like, was she like Martha from Baby Reindeer? And did she like contact his parents when he broke up with her and say a bunch of shit, like, and lie? We don't know. We're just left to speculate. And I feel like Schwartz is kind of doing that on purpose, so we can go to worst case scenario. But obviously something happened. Christina, thank you for the super sticker, friend. I Rule coming in with a super chat. Thank you, Joe. And everyone gave me anxiety talking over each other. Christina, thanks again, my friend. I appreciate that. Linda P coming through with the super sticker. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. So Meg Shep, new member. Welcome to the Lean team. You guys are just, you're making a gal feel so special. Stop. I'm going to get a Lauren from Utah head before you know it. I'm going to start believing my own hype. Okay. So then Joe breaks down immediately and they're like, yeah, Katie said, and Katie described, I love how Katie described what she said about Joe. She said, yeah, I said some colorful descriptors. And yeah, they were colorful. And Joe's like, she called me a crackhead. She never said you were a crackhead. She said your behavior is on par with a crackhead. Like in golf, it's on par with a crackhead. It's a par 4 of a crackhead. And let us remind you yet again, Joe Wenberg, the perpetual victim that I'm seeing here. You, ma'am, were the first person to make the crackhead joke about yourself on your social media back in 2019. So did Katie, this is similar to Katie. Katie said your energy was on par. You are showing us a picture here, as we all can see, Exhibit A in the trial. Judge Joleen will be doing a ruling. Guilty. You said, so I'm not a crackhead. I just always make the same face. You were saying you make crackhead faces. Okay. But then, thanks to my friend Christina Coca, you have since been called out for that because you were like, this is egregious. My family, she did a live where she was like, my family's worried I'm on crack and they just can't believe you'd say I was on crack. I don't do crack. Crack is whack. And then you went back in, and I had this screenshot. I might not have put it in this particular folder, but then you went back in and you changed the caption, Joe. Why did you change the caption? All this behavior is looking more and more sus, lady friend. It's not looking good for the home team, as they say in the sports, when you do these kind of things. So you can't be the victim of something and be the one that's starting the rumor, basically. Do you know what I mean? It just comes off very much like you're looking for something to kind of complain about, cry about, because again, okay, I think I have it here. You went back in. So this is December 8th, 2019. After people started calling you out, the new caption reads like this, guys. I'm like a living cartoon character. Been rocking the same face since day one. Why mess with perfection? Am I right? So we changed it. We had the crackhead. And then since the season has started and people called you out, like it's not like people are just like, oh my God, she's on crack. Then you changed your own caption. Oh, I hate to do this, but like, ooh, it looks pretty sus, lady friend. It looks sus. So maybe we want to retire that whole crackhead victim narrative. And maybe you want to maybe stop making fun of crackheads, because you were the first one in 2019 to do this. I don't think, unless you have receipts, and I can gladly then say, okay, maybe you have a point, where Katie, prior to 2019, was talking about crackhead. And this also leads me to believe, objection, speculative, overruled. It's my courtroom. Thank you. This also leads me to believe that this is something you would say regularly. And some could argue self-deprecation, but either way, you're taking something now you're using as a point of victimhood, of very serious drug addiction, and you're making a joke about it. So even if you are being self-deprecating, you're still, see how there's just a slippery slope. Now you're making fun of the crack, and then you're saying people can't make fun of the crack, and it's a serious addiction, and Katie's a horrible person. And then she started to say, yes, Jada, Judge Joleen is back. Then she started, you do, Christina. We'll get you one. We'll hook you up. When you need to get an Amazon wish list, I'm pretty sure, yes, I was sent this on my Amazon wish list. Thank you. But it's just a mess with this. Okay. It's a mess. Oh, then she went on to say, Katie said I need to shower. And Katie's like, I don't think I said you have to shower. And she's like, you did. You said I should take it. Baby girl. Oh my God. I don't need, if I need to like just give you some of my DMs or text messages I've gotten through the years from people who are trying to like troll me, who didn't like me and the things they say. A shower, I would love that. I've literally had people send me, here's which I think is kind of helpful. You fat bitch, it's called keto, and here's what you should eat. Like, which I thought was a little helpful, So if someone would just like take a shower, Joleen, I'd be like, super easy. But these people want me to lose like 50 pounds. That's a lot harder than showering. So, I mean, you can spend your life making yourself a victim, or you can like rise up above it and go, oh, I'm 36. So just because Katie made a couple comments, a couple colorful descriptors, you could say, I did not like that. And then we can move along. Okay. You're not the biggest victim we've ever seen. I'm just tired of this victim tour. It's too much. It's too much. And then when Katie says they were just colorful descriptors. Yeah. I said she had spooky energy because she was friends with Kristen. They were really good friends. And then to get on the show and to be with Tom, she completely goes to Kristen Doty. And I didn't like the way she moved. And Katie has every right not to like the way she moved on that, And Joe was like, colorful? Really, Katie? Really? She really has it out for Katie. It's like, ma'am, the call is coming from next to you. It's Tom Schwartz. You should definitely keep reading his text messages and exposing him because he's the one that caused all this. Katie wanted nothing to do with you. Katie even tells her, Joe, it's not about you. Okay. There is something about her, not nothing about her. Okay. Lala, there is something about her, but it's not about you. You are not the her in the something about her. All right. She says, I was going through a divorce. It was a really hard time in my life. It was the disillusion. Is that the word? Whatever. It was the breakup of my marriage, of a family, of two families merged together, someone I thought I would spend my whole life with. We had to sell our home that we loved. We have to do like custody of our dogs. Speaking of motherhood, Lala, fur baby moms matter too. And it was just a lot for me. So it had nothing to do with you. You were just the last thing I needed at that time. And that seems very logical, very like nice to be like, it's not you, baby girl. No matter in that situation, no matter who Schwartz would have brought to kind of go toe to toe with me or piss me off or whatever. And also you're in the friend group and you kind of screwed over my friends. So, but it wasn't you. I was going through. And then Joe, zero grace, says, it's just like, what were her exact words? She said, she said, that's not an excuse. And I'm like, girl, bye. Can we get security, please? Lala, can you get on your security? And she says, I gets to clapping. I bees clapping sometime. I gets to clapping. Can you clap it on over there, Lala? Can you use this little thing you do over there? Can you gets to clapping on Joe? Can we escort her out? Thank you. Can we find out what's going on with the GoFundMe for Checkers, please? Because I honestly think about it every day. I do not want that dog to lose his other eye. So please, ma'am, can you be transparent and stop changing the amounts on the GoFundMe and then hiding the links and then saying you'll answer questions about it? And when the questions aren't questions you think are right, then you shut down the live and freak out and walk away and have a victim party. Okay. That's just me. You guys, I really love dogs. People I could do without, but dogs, I feel like it's very emotionally manipulative to say your dog is sick, not give us the specifics and be like, I need your money, and then never say anything again. Okay. So, let's see. Joe breakdown. It's just you were the last thing I needed at the time. Katie actually apologizes to Joe. Joe starts listing all the things Katie allegedly said to her. Dirty, needs a shower, rat girl, crackhead. Joe just being a victim. It's not an excuse, Katie. Okay, goodbye, Joe. Bye. Andy checks in with Allie and James. They talk about Hippie and Rachel's biting comments of how James would bite him or whatever James would do. He would encourage the biting and he liked the way it felt. If you're going to like accuse someone of that, we need to see some receipts on that because that's pretty serious. I don't know. The way she described it too was like, it was so insidious. It was just like, ugh, okay. Hippie, and James like, no, Hippie, oh, he is wonderful and he's not that dog. And then we found out he was like bred and they flew him over on a plane. And I'm like, oh my God, adopt, don't shop. What's wrong with you people? What is going on, Rachel? Like if there wasn't enough reasons to dislike Rachel or her mom, like they bred this, I understand there are certain whatever, but there are so many beautiful doggy woos who need homes, and then so you breed the dog, then you scare the shit out, put him on a plane. He's like on the bottom of the plane holding on with like a little parachute, like, I'm coming, Rachel Raquel. Then you get to the place and you're like, this is my mom. Oh my God. And James, oh my God, he's like DJing and drunk and yelling. This isn't good. I mean, I don't think it was a good situation probably for Hippie as a whole. And the dogs, their energy and their personalities tend to be very on par with the vibes in the home. So they talk about the biting, and then Allie says, oh no, he's great now, and he gives Mr. Banks kisses. And all I can think is LVP. I even tweeted at her, you guys. I even tried to reach out to her on Instagram of like, hi, thanks for all the work you do with dogs. Can you just check in on Joe? Because she says she has a GoFundMe for her dog Checkers. And she doesn't list any of the specifics of what the money's actually going to. And when you ask her questions about it, she storms off and says everyone's a troll and hurting her feelings. But she's scaring us, saying that the surgeon or the veterinarian says maybe possibly kinda the dog's eye might need to be taken out. And he already lost an eye due to glaucoma. So is there something we can do to help her, because she doesn't have $2,000, but it started at 3,200. Can you just like check it out? And I didn't get that specific, but I just was like, could you maybe reach out to her since she's a part of the show? But I honestly don't think Lisa knows who she is, because tonight she seemed confused. When Joe was on stage, she was like, hey, who is that? Okay. Huh. That's not Anne. It's not Anne. Okay. Okay. I don't know, darling, who that is. Let's see. They talk about the marriage. Is Allie still not ready for marriage and kids? She's like, I'm not. I'm only 28. And then James is like, don't worry. I'm going to give her about 6 months. And Allie's like, what? You want kids by the time you're 33, 34, 35? You're just turned 32. He's like, hey, yes, that's enough time, darling. And she's like, huh? But then James ultimately says that he'll wait forever for Allie to be ready. So congratulations. Andy talks water tastings, boring, bring a book, and sobriety. Congratulations to Lala. She has 5.5 years sober, which is amazing. And she's like, thank you so much for bringing that up, Andy. Yeah, he brings it up every time. We know sobriety is a very important thing. All right. As a fellow sober girl, I get it. I understand. James says he's been sober since last April. Do we believe it? I don't know. Then they talk about I hope so for his sake, they talk about the drinking and what led to him getting sober was Allie. What they hit on during the season, I believe, is Allie leaving the house for a couple nights with the cats because she's like, I don't like him drinking. And they were like, what? Andy said, what would you do if James started drinking again? Allie said, I'd leave. And I'm like, good for you, girl. There has to be, if you truly, and James, I think, has admitted to having issues with alcohol, being an alcoholic. And that's, there has to be, like you have to set your own boundaries in that situation. And that's similar to what you do in like an intervention type thing. There has to be stakes. with addicts and stuff. There has to be stakes, and you don't want to become an enabler. And it's a hard situation. So I hope for James and Allie's sake and Hippie's sake that he can stay sober, because I think that's, I think he still smokes weed, but at least sober from alcohol, because I think that we have seen on the show through the years, a drunk James is not a good James. It's not a good James at all. So then, oh God, Andy's about to say goodbye to Joe. Thank God. And Allie. And then Joe just continues to be cringe. Are you dating anyone? No, but you know Aaron Rodgers? And Andy's like, he's creepy. He's like a conspiracy theorist. And she's like, okay, how about John Mayer? And then Sheena's like, oh, he's my best friend. I've been there, hit that. And John Mayer's like typing up his op-ed. Like, he's like, I had never had sexual relationship with that woman ever. Forever. But Sheena had to say that. So they leave. Joe, everybody was just like, this cast did not know how to deal with Joe. They were like, what is happening? Even Andy, I've never seen him be so like. So they leave. Andy talks Maya's health scare when Tom Sandybutt very irresponsibly let the air conditioning people into Ariana's room before she could get it dog ready when he was supposed to be watching it. He, of course, blames Anne, who Andy says, or he's like, could have been Anna, who Andy says was the breakout star this season. I loved when he said that, because Sheena goes, I thought you were going to say Summer Moon. Now, Summer Moon's adorable. She's fantastic. Love her. I don't want to see your kids on Vanderpump Rules. That's a personal preference. You guys can have your own. But no, I just, we know too much. It's 2024, like Cat Williams is saying, all liars, all the secrets, everything's going to come out. I think we know too much now to be exploiting children on television shows. It's great. You can talk to me about having a kid. You can tell us about parenthood, but I don't want to see these children who cannot consent to this being filmed all the time and have their image out there and these weirdos out there. I don't want to see it. So when she was like, Summer Moon, we're like, no.
All people that love the truth got to be happy if the truth coming out and lies is getting exposed. That's just what time it is. 2024, folks.
That's just what time it is, 2024. This isn't a show I signed up to see your kids. Even The Valley, I don't need to see your kids. I know you got kids. I'll hear them crying in the background. God bless. Keep them off camera. All right. If you want to protect your children, that's the best thing you could do. Honestly, the only thing AI will be good for now is kids in movies and stuff. Just create the AI for the kids. Protect the kids. That's all I'm saying. Protect the damn kids. Because they're just like so beautiful, and they just there's so many gross people in that industry as it is. Why would you want to subject them to that? But yeah, and that's not what anyone wants. We just don't. We're not here for the kids. This isn't 19 and counting. This isn't the Duggar show and the what's the show that Kristen's boyfriend Luke is from? The I'm forgetting the people. I'm talking about the blonde family. I always say Luke looks like he's part of them. Yeah, AI kids sound creepy. Well, I'm just saying, maybe some kind of, if you need it for like a movie or television show. Yeah, and Lil Cruz, he doesn't want to be on camera. He's like, leave me alone. I'm licking a window, because he's a kid. That's what kids do. Let the kids live. Yeah, welcome to Plathville. Yeah, it's not welcome to Plathville. We don't need to see this. This ain't TLC. Let's not exploit children on Bravo. All right, especially that young. No way. And of course, like I said, Tom Sandoval wants to blame the Maya situation possible. It could have been Anna or me. And they're like, what would you want to happen, Ariana? And Ariana's like, I would have liked for him to contact, our go-between, so that I would know people were going to be in my room. That is my one space. And Andy's like, I mean, that's kind of gross to have chicken skewers sticks on your nightstand. Andy, she's hiding out in a bunker. Okay. What don't people understand? She's in a house with a psychopath named Tom Sandoval, allegedly. All right. She's hiding out. She has to eat, breathe, potty, sleep. She's got to lock the door. Okay. Maybe she couldn't get down to the trash early enough, where he wasn't, walking around being a whole creep ass and having these parties. She's hiding out. She's like Kimmy Schmidt. All right. These are circumstances that are beyond her control at this time. She's trying to save this house before this man steals it or fills it with jizz. Okay. She just, I was like, really? We're going to judge her? Even though Tom doesn't even know. Like, you're home when I'm home alone with my pets and my husband's not here, like my husband's here now. So I know that, let's see. Okay. No, producer Tilly left. So all the animals are with the hubs. When they're not, I know where they are. I'm not just like locking them up in rooms for hours that I don't need. I wouldn't lock my dogs up in rooms for hours, firstly, or a room. And also, I wouldn't put them in a situation where there'd be all kinds of stuff. And we saw Ariana's room, and there's just so much stuff that can really, really hurt and kill our little fur babies. Okay. So then Ariana talks about taking the animals and getting custody, which I'm so happy for. Oh my God, can you imagine? I mean, Tom, who thought you were going to get custody of these animals when you were out banging Rachel Raquel the minute Charlotte died? You were already putting your dick where it didn't belong instead of grieving for your animal. I don't know about me, but nothing makes me less horny than a pet death. I'll tell you that. I'm like, oh, but Tom just gets a rager in the cage. He's like, did one of the pets die? Let's go. And you're like, what? Who is like, who? I mean, that is a traumatic time. That I watched a TED Talk today, you guys, with a woman who's an emergency vet. I don't know if you've ever seen this TED Talk, but if you need a good cry, it's like 16 or 20 minutes. And it was right before I watched Vanderpump, which could explain my energy. But I was like, I'm not going to cry. I always say that to myself. I'm not going to cry. When they're like, you'll cry, I'm like, I'm not going to cry. And I bawled. Because if you've ever lost a fur baby, you know, it's and how she was kind of making the point that people downplay, you know, that, and that you can't have these feelings. And she has so many people who have, you know, lost their fur babies and are at the, you know, emergency vet, and she's the doctor there. And she said so many people apologize to her for being emotional and sad, losing their fur babies. And she said, I think that's because there's so much judgment, you know, around that. And I'm like, I've been like that too, but it's like a family member, you know, witness. Nothing makes me less horny than a pet death. So, I mean, it's the truth, but he got horny. He wasn't taking care of Maya. He's got every Tom, Dick, and Harry walking around his little party. He's pissing in his pool, flirting with women not interested in him. Where's Maya? Where's Kitty? So Ariana's getting Kitty and Maya, and God bless. And I'm so happy about that. And then James calls out Sandoval because I guess he rolled his eyes when Ariana was talking about taking custody. And James like, oh man, you didn't even do it. You were getting your dick wet with Rachel Raquel and you didn't even care. And I was like, get him, James. Get him. It was like that little clip says, get him. Okay? Get him again for me.
I'm going to just scoot on over and let you whack him. Get him again. Get him for me. Done.
Get him. Get him again. Get him again for me. I love that. So James is going in, and James says, eat a dick, Tom. And then you always know in Sandoval, he never has a good comeback because he's like, you know. So he says, he's like, no, you eat a dick, dude. You eat a effing dick, dude. And I'm like, here we go. Good one, Tom. He just repeats what the other person says, but adds like a swear word to it. It's so stupid. It's so dumb. So we end with James and Tom Sandy Butt, like, you know, in a fight. And I guess Tom's going to be like, there's lots of things I've heard about. I'm not saying, and James is like, say it, mention it all. Go ahead.
Have some remote sensitivity.
I am. Oh, you guys. And that is the second part of the reunion. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Meg, thanks for becoming a member. Regia, thank you so much for becoming a member. And Liz Walker, thank you for the super sticker. You guys are so sweet. Let me read some of your chats and then your comments, and then we will wrap it up. So please, let me, if you have some things you want to get off your chest before we wrap it up, put it in the chat and I'll read through it here. Yes, Dacia, he does talk like he's constipated. Cheryl says, I think Lala's mom owns the house in the valley. They said she sold everything in Utah to move and help Lala. I heard that too. I heard there might be some kind of way that she obtained enough money to, maybe either put a down payment or something like that. So I did hear that. Never too late to dream. Thank you for the super chat. Says the energy from Joe was scattered. I couldn't follow the entire segment. No. I mean, Joe has said she has ADHD, which definitely that is common for people with ADHD to interrupt sentences. And it's not them necessarily being rude. It's just the way our brains work where, we're excited. We feel like we're adding to it. I don't know if that's where Joe was at the time. I don't know if she's getting any treatment for her ADHD. I know myself, I do, and I also take medication. But she is very scattered. And I think, in my opinion, she's just looking for ways in which she can be the victim. That's all I see now, Emily says, I don't think we need a third part of the reunion. Personally, it should have ended tonight. I mean, it would have been a really crappy ending, but apparently, finally in the third part, we're going to see them all react to the reunion, or the last part of the finale, I should say, which then poor Ariana's going to cry. And then Tom's going to turn to her and I'm like, don't even look at her, sir. Okay. And he's going to say, you know me, Ariana. And she's like, I don't. I just want you away from me. And I'm like, please, just leave her alone, Tom. You've said enough. You're so shitty. Nobody likes you except for that Victoria lady. And she could be, like my mom says, she could be jiving you too. So just go with God. Okay, leave us alone. Power of Power says, Dr. Joleen, thank you. You're so welcome. Jen says, oh no, I feel wide awake now after this live and it's 10 p.m. I'm so sorry to get y'all worked up. Dog Mom Laura, you are so welcome. And hi to Banna. Hi, Banna. Rebecca, you're so welcome. Variant says, someone has to watch the kids when Lala isn't using them for TV and sympathy. That's Mama. Mama. Lala has brain cells. She does. I don't think she's using them properly, but she has some. Amy May, thank you for the super chat. Amy May says, so happy to wake up and see Queen Joleen live. Yes, you are. You're already starting a new day. I hope you have the best day ever. We're still on that same old ratchet day from before over here. So thanks, Blue Bevy. Blue Bevy says, haven't even watched the reunion yet, but your lives are better. LOL. Thanks, Jolene. You're so welcome. Yes, this reunion has really been, you're right. Everyone was interrupting, especially when Katie was talking. You are 100% right. It's been very hard to follow. Even the Katie and Lala kind of argument. Lala's been talking so much. I saw someone post, I haven't watched the show The Bear on FX with that cutie patootie, but someone posted a clip of him saying, shut the F up. And they said every time Lala talks at the reunion. So she's just, doing a lot. So Maha Ventura says, I want to know why Lala and Sheena are expecting Ariana to be around on the show because they need to feed their children. Not Ariana's problem. They can get a job. Exactly. There again, it's just like, oh, how could you do this to us? Why? How can you be on the show for this long and have nothing to show for it? How do you not have better brand deals? How do you not have better businesses? Check out what half of the housewives do with that stuff. That's not our problem. I mean, but according to Sheena, she's booked and busy. She doesn't even need Dancing with the Stars. She's with her band. And Katie was like, the 27s are like, sorry, we can't come to the phone right now. Please leave a message after the beep and we will try to call you back. A.P.P. Elias, even though that song is a banger. Peach, thank you for the super chat. Peach says, so do we think we'll get a season 12? I do. A lot of people don't agree with me, but I do. I do think we will get a season 12. I don't know what that season 12 will look like, but this season still got really good ratings and you always follow the money. I think they're putting it on pause, not a Dorinda medley pause, but I think it's just a pause. And then we'll see. They're going to feel out if Ariana would return, I think. And we'll see what happens. So, that's a good question. Minnesota Botanicals says, do you think that was a last minute decision since Ariana hadn't seen anything? I don't. I know I've seen that, but I mean, I think Andy Cohen got the idea, and I think we'll be probably seeing this on other Housewives shows and other Bravo shows because he hosted the Traitors US season 2 reunion. And that's how they do it on that show, where the cast watches in real time the finale. So they don't know the winner until they get to the reunion. And so they can get the cast reactions. So Andy hosted that reunion. So I think he got the idea there. And it does make for more like drama. And you're like guaranteed some kind of drama. So I think that's why he's doing it. But that's not to say he couldn't have been like, well, Ariana didn't watch, so we did this on Traitors. But I wouldn't be surprised if we see this sort of thing happening on other Bravo shows, because it's kind of fun. I don't think this one's going to be fun because we're going to see Ariana see her alleged supposed friends say really mean stuff. So yeah. Patty, oh good, you agree with me. I mean, I know not everyone's going to agree with me, but Patty says, I agree. No babies on VPR. Let the babies be babies. Let the babies be babies. Yes. Pat Clark, thank you. Pat Clark says, thank you for doing this tonight. I was about to explode after watching this bullshit. It is. This is some bullshit. I can't believe. Get a job. Get a job. It just reminds me of the Chris Rock joke. Get a job. Get a job holding dicks. Whatever you do, get paid to do it. Okay. Yeah. The more I hear people and their justifications for the pause, I think it's a good idea too. And just see what's going on. Let it breathe a little. This season was so painful. I don't think it had to be, but I think production really took us down a dark path with the Sandoval redemption arc. And they did it to themselves. And they're lucky we're still tuning in. Anna says, why would Bravo throw away one of its highest rated shows? Come on, they don't have a lot right now. I mean, that's true. Even though you have shows like Summer House and stuff, they're actually really good. They just don't get the ratings. And I think they're like, well, the Valley got really good ratings. And for now, we can just start picking up filming the Valley, which they are, the same time they would normally film Vanderpump Rules. And we will just roll with that and then make a decision after that, which I think is another reason why they're not having the reunion for the Valley, is they're just going to pick cameras right back up. So yes. I can't stand Andy. Chris says he just hosts the reunion. But watch Traitors if you haven't, because maybe you have, but Alan Cummings is the host and he's amazing. So such a good show. And I can't wait to see who the season 3 Traitors cast is. I'm so excited for that. We'll definitely get Bravo celebrities. We'll definitely get Big Brother, Survivor people, Bachelor people, like all of the things. HC says Ariana should walk out with both middle fingers up because she's classy. Yes. Go back to Chili's baby back ribs. Chili's baby back ribs. Barbecue sauce. See, that was already better than Tom Sandy Butt's whole karaoke show, you guys. Not to toot my own horn. Toot toot. Thank you, Minnesota Botanicals, for the super sticker. I will say I was liking the Valley, and then I was like, and now I turned the Valley back on. I mean, I've been watching it. I'm behind a couple roasts. Sorry, guys. We'll get caught up. But this Big Bear trip is I saw the first part and the beginning of the second part, or the first part of tonight's episode, but it's something. I think it might be interesting. Yeah, Traitors is the best. Have I been watching The GOAT? I watched the first episode. I thought it was so good. Kristen Doute's on it, as is Reza and a lot of other reality stars. But The GOAT is really funny. I do like what they're doing with Daniel Tosh and his hosting, and just how silly it is and how it's not taking itself seriously, and how Tosh literally is in the GOAT house. So if you guys don't know what we're talking about, it's like a competition reality show where reality stars come together, similar to like House of Villains or Traitors. And it's called The GOAT, to find the greatest reality television star ever. And they have all these people, but they do have Bravo celebrities like Reza and Kristen Doute. And when people are like, they're living in a house, when people are, scheming, you just have Daniel Tosh come in, hold the coffee mug, be like, You guys gonna stop talking? And as a Big Brother super fan, and I cover that show every summer. So if you're new to the channel and you want, definitely join us for our Big Brother lives, because we do the live feed stuff, spoilers. It's actually really fun, even though that show can be just as infuriating, but that just makes for better roast. Thank you, Gail, for the super sticker. I didn't see that LVP through shade, Cassandra, at the something about her soft opening. The Goat is on Amazon Prime, and Traders is on Peacock. House of Villains, much more than I would. I didn't finish this season of House of Villains, but I liked what I was seeing. Jax is very triggering on the Valley. Yes. All right, you guys. IDK what Big Brother is about. N-Dub. You gotta be kidding me. Hit me in the DMs. I'll give you a little, or just join us. I'll give you a little rundown, but it's good. It's good. We just have some fun. All right, you guys, I'm going to be back tomorrow with Ryan Bailey around noon Pacific, so make sure you are here for that. Thank you so much to everyone for participating in the live chat and being here and being awesome like you always are, so we can have our group therapy. Shout out to my super chatters, Christina, NYCNP, Sinister Girls, Rhonda, HC. Did I miss yours? I would have laughed at this. Lala looked like a mummified fairy. I'm so sorry. I think I missed this one when it first came in, HC. Linda D, thank you so much. Kate. Oh, shit. Kate, I think I missed yours too. Kate says, Heather McDonald took Ariana's side this morning on her podcast. She was very nice about it. But definitely Team Ariana. Lala's pissed. So people were saying they thought the podcast she was going to go after was going to be Heather McDonald. Oh my God, I hope she goes after her. That would be an epic back and forth. I mean, Heather would obviously, it wouldn't probably be good for Lala. But I did see Heather posted in her stories. I think I took, I do my research, aka stalking. She had something in her stories that was kind of like about like betrayal, or it's almost like she was calling someone out, and I was like, that could easily be her calling out Lala. And now I'm like, where the fudge did I save that? Because I saved way too many dog memes and home decor things. Oh, and Catherine from Southern Charm gets a Dewey. Girl, get a driver. It is 2024, okay? I do not have time for you drunk drivers out here ruining people's lives, all right? Where did it go? No, that ain't it. Okay. Oh, I really want to find it, because it was something she posted, and it was kind of like one of those cryptic things where you're like, oh, okay. Heather McDonald, the people who betrayed you are going to have to watch God promote you. 23 hours ago, which could be a little longer now, but that's Heather McDonald's little story. And I was like, okay, this is about Lala. I just had a feeling. I got a feeling. Woo-hoo. Oh my gosh. They should battle. Battle Royale. Lala versus Lala. I got to talk about with Ryan Bailey about this tomorrow. Remind me, you guys, if you're in the chat and I somehow forget. Gail, thank you so much for gifting a membership. Gemini Joe, thank you for the super chat. Peach, Muffy, Pamela, Christina Coca became a member and super chatter. Thank you so much. Shannon Collins, I Rule, Linda P, Meg Shep, welcome to the membership. Reggie, and welcome to the membership. Liz Walker, Never Too Late to Dream. Amy May, Minnesota Botanicals, and Gail coming in with a super sticker just 5 minutes ago. Thank you guys so much. I'm going to go. I know she fights everybody, but I'm just for anybody kind of fighting with Lauren from Utah right now. Putting her in check. I'm just for anybody doing that. So I'm going to call Heather. No, I don't have her number, but I'm going to call her, and I'm going to be like, Heather, I'll finally do the podcast. She's been begging. So I'm going to finally have to do it. She has not. She's never called me. But obviously she really wants me on the pod, and we'll have to talk about it. So Oh my gosh, I have to stop with my long Minnesota goodbye. You guys are wonderful, beautiful pumpkin spice babies. We are less than halfway to Halloween, fall, all things pumpkin spice, which makes me happy. Sorry if it doesn't make you happy, but I appreciate all of you. And I can't wait to see you guys tomorrow when we have Ryan Bailey here. And like I always say, comment after the video post, hit that like, and always remember to enjoy yourself because it's later than you think. Bye.
If you like what you see.